It's that time again. It is now week 4 of the bookshop renovations. This week starts with a little adventure. The beginning of this week, I spent 2 days at the Booksellers Association conference, and it was a whirlwind 2 days of publishing events, the Gardener's Trade Show, author talks, loads of food, tote bags up the wazoo. I have never had so many tote bags from one event in my life, but it was really, really great. And I didn't feel very well at the time, so there's a lot of me trying to nap. It was a really fun few days, and so we're going to kick off with that, and then we've got some more in the studio activities, as well as some huge bookshop updates that are really getting us into a good place now. So let's kick off the week.
You can walk out of here going, bookseller or author, singer, percussionist.
Okay, are you ready for your big performance and then we are done? Yeah? Guys, sing confidently, right? You've done it really well in like rehearsal mode. This is the last chance today you're going to get to sing this stuff. So let's go.
And if you're doing it wrong, be wrong and strong. And remember, there's only 95 days to go till Christmas. Alright, one, two, 4.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops listen and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. Ding, 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 ding. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright.
Deep breath.
A swift recording because I'm running late. I'm at the Booksellers Association conference. I'm just trying to put something on. I have been here all day. It's been absolute chaos. In a good way, mostly. There's a lot of books, a lot of publishers, a lot of people. There's like some kind of scheduled activities, some not so scheduled activities. There was a HarperCollins afternoon tea, but it didn't quite seem applicable to me in terms of content. So I skipped that with the hopes of having a nap. Also, can we just talk about the fact that they changed my room to an executive suite and I have 2 double beds? Yes, HarperCollins afternoon tea. I just put my shoes on. And I skipped it because I feel really rough. And I thought the author isn't one that will stock because she's not fantasy. And I really wanted a nap. Sadly, could not nap. The nap was not napping. And I'm sad about that because now I'm napless. However, I have changed into nothing particularly fancy, but I heard rumour that it was better to change into something for the evening, so I've done that. I'm now supposed to be meeting Kathy in 1 minute, and I feel fucking horrendous, and I didn't get my nap. But we move. I've changed into the green jumpsuit, which I'll show you. There we are. That's as fancy as she gets for today anyway. I'm still gonna, do I look okay rolled up? Yeah, it looks better rolled up I think. I'm gonna take my bag down still because I feel like I don't know. I might need it. Maybe. I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take some tissues, my water. Oh, I'm gonna put a quick pump of electrolytes in my water because that's how I roll these days. I've not filmed enough of stuff today, but I will try again. It's just been so busy. Have I got stuff in my hair? I can't tell. Oh no, it's just my zip. It's just been so busy that I've not really felt like I can film things without annoying people. But I will try again. So let's go find Kathy. I'm back in exactly the same place you saw me last. We went into one of the conference suites, I guess. I'm talking quietly because it's quite late and I don't know how thin walls are in the hotel. Yeah, so we were in one of the conference suites and we were having dinner, and then between courses there was author talks, which was very lovely, but it was very long, and also we were very close to the people speaking and it just didn't really feel appropriate to get this out. I'm not quite comfortable just whipping it out willy-nilly yet, because I think some people just don't like to be on camera, which, you know, is more than fair enough. It was good, and it was nice to chat to people. We sat with people that I hadn't met before. I do follow them on Instagram though. They are Heath Bookshop. They won Independent Bookshop of the Year, the latest round. And they were very lovely, and it was nice to have a good natter. And then all the authors, the last one of the evening was Mary Portas, and everyone was fangirling over Mary Portas. I mean, her speech was great. She was very glamorous and very lovely. But yeah, everyone was fangirling after, which was super cute. And we got more tote bags. And I've not looked in this one yet, so should we have a little look together before I go to bed? Let's see. Stuff starts again at 8 tomorrow. I'm going to try and show you around a bit more tomorrow. Hopefully I should be able to do that because I think it's just a bit of a different scenario tomorrow. Very fulfilling but very overwhelming day. I'm going to bed. Good night.
But we do have power and we do have agency.
Day 2 of the Booksellers Association conference. I am back in my room. It's now, my watch has just died. It's no longer there. Oh, hold on, I've just put the tally on. It's 5:25. It's 5:25. I've been sat doom scrolling for like an hour. Actually, I say doom scrolling. It was an intentional, I don't want to do anything else. I'm going to scroll my phone for an hour. So I caught up on some messages and looked at some cat memes. You know how it is. So 6:15, so 45 minutes. We have some drinks. And then there's dinner tonight, and that's sponsored by Pan Macmillan tonight. I'm assuming it's going to do the same sort of thing as last night. So last night we had dinner, and like between each course there were some author talks, like about their upcoming novels. It was interesting. Today has been very good. A lot of talking at me, but in a good way. There was like fever pitches, which is like speed pitching upcoming books. There was that this morning. And we then had, we had 2 skills labs. I can't remember what was very first this morning. There was a Bloomsbury breakfast. So we had breakfast and listened to some Bloomsbury people, and we got some books, which were great. There was 4 different authors, 1 graphic novel that isn't released for a good while, and then 3 novels that are out. and they were all brilliant. I picked up 2 of them, Miss Winter, in the library with a knife. And I know that my stepdad would really like this, so I nabbed one of those for him. Can't decide whether to give it to him for Christmas or whether to keep hold of it. I feel like now that I'm a bookseller and I get books for like cheap/free, can I still give them to people for Christmas, or does that kind of negate the thought process? I don't know. There's no less thought has gone into that. The whole time he was talking about it, I was like, Jeff is gonna love that. He's gonna love that. He's gonna love that. And then I like scooted to the front of the queue so I could get one for him. But yeah, I don't know whether that now is a weird present or not. I don't know. Anyway, that will be in his hands in some way, shape or form. And then there was 2 skills labs. So the first skills lab was about authors and bookshops and the collaborative relationship that they can have and different ways to utilize that relationship and how it's beneficial for both parties and events that you can do kind of outside of signings. So that was really good. And then I did a second one, which was, I can't remember what it was called. It had a cute name. But the second panel was about romance and selling the sizzle. That's what it was called. So it was about selling romance books and how the kind of landscape has changed over the last few years and how romance has become a lot bigger, a lot more popular, but also romance books themselves have changed a bit. Some of them are a lot more explicit, and the romance books are kind of having this empowering moment for women. But as a bookseller, what that means for you in terms of categorizing them, in terms of shelving them, in terms of age appropriacy and having conversations around recommending and selling them. And that was very, very interesting and very useful. And I think, so Caden, who has Book Lovers Bookshop in Edinburgh, was part of that panel. You might have seen her in a clip earlier. I think what was particularly interesting for me with Caden being a romance-only bookshop, we will be fantasy only, how she has chosen her subgenres and how she has categorized certain things. And again, I think that there's a lot of crossover with fantasy and romance, obviously romantasy, but I also mean in terms of dark romance, dark fantasy, dark romantasy, and the darker themes and tropes that you can find within them, and how to shelve those and how to have those conversations very openly with customers and to have so without shame, particularly when it involves a minor, I guess, if they're maybe unaware, or if they are aware and, you know, their guardian is with them and they are aware that, you know, this is a book and the contents of it, etc., but just making sure that that is known at till point. It was really, really interesting. I feel like I took a lot away from the skills labs today and gave me lots of ideas. So anyway, I have half an hour-ish before drinks and the final dinner, and then we're going home tomorrow morning. I'm going to go through all of my tote bags and stuff because I've got a lot of tote bags and I've got a lot of stuff. I did just sit and have a little nibble of, I think it was the Independent Alliance tote bag from last night's dinner. I had a Tony's Chocolonely bar in, so I just had a little nibble of that, which was nice. But I'm eyeing up, I can see my electrolytes over there, and I had some in my water this morning, but I've refilled it many times since then, and now I'm currently electrolyteless. And I'm looking around for my water. I need any help that I can get, so I'm going to have that. I'm then going to have some more paracetamol, and hopefully that combination will power me through for the evening. But I'm just going to put something on the telly. I don't really know what, but I just want some comforting sounds in the background. I finished my book just before I came here. Yeah, because I'm just not feeling very good. I don't want to start a new book today. And then I'm going to get ready for tonight. I'm going to wear the same jumpsuit I wore last night because I didn't think ahead to pack 2 different nice outfits. But I wore it for like 2 hours. So yeah, I'm going to wear that.
Tried to get out of state, maybe California, but she couldn't escape. She fell in love with every pretty face she met. She fell in love, but I couldn't relate. And I said, Joan, please don't leave me here alone. And she says, I ain't never coming home. Yeah, she says, I ain't never coming home.
Hi, I've had the event. I've just taken all of my makeup off to get ready for bed, but I thought, also I do have we got one last tote bag. That's the best one. So I thought I'd show you that before I go.
Magazines, but I saw you dancing behind that silver screen. Yeah, I saw you dancing behind that silver screen. And I said, Joan, please don't leave me here alone. And she says, I ain't never coming home. And she says, I ain't never coming home. I can still hear you there. I can still hear your voice.
Bloody hell, that was extreme, wasn't it? So they're taking the steel beams out. You can see them like wobbling them. They were struggling to get one of them out though, but it looks like there's 4 pieces. One of them had come out and they were working on the rest, but wow. Also, I've just got home, walked into the studio. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that one was already here. 6 boxes in like the 24 hours I've not been here. And I've also just picked up 4 from the shop. But I think there was a die bound. I'm going to empty the car, do that. And then I need to check in with Beth and I need to get the next collection stuff filmed stat. Because we have the next collection, our spooky collection, sat on the table. But I didn't manage to film any content for it before we went. And it goes live this weekend. I should have already been posting about it. So that is the sole purpose of today. If I can get more than that done, then great, but I feel like such shit if I can just get that done and then like have a big nap, then I'll be happy. I've also fucked with the camera settings a bit on here and I think it's made things worse. So let's open all of these parcels. I think there's 2 where I know what it is. So let's see, I'm pretty sure 4 of the boxes are die bound. We really need to make sure they've sent us the right die bound. If it is not the special edition and it is not signed after all of this, I'm going to lose my shit. Let's see. Cannot tell you how long I've been waiting for these. In fact, I can. 23rd of September today. The die bound release day was, I'm pretty sure, the 14th of August. We have signed editions, we have special editions. They are all sold out, but they are signed. And then they have these gorgeous reverse jackets, and then they're all different colours. So this one is a red one, but there is a pink and a blue, cream maybe? There's a number of different colours. I have to get these packed today. So we had a restock of some of the candles that we'd sold out of, but then we also had some new ones. We had Cowboy Romance. Look how cute it is! Oh, it doesn't want to focus. There we go. Look how cute! This was really lovely too. And I think there was like 2 other new ones. One was a Christmassy one. Something they don't tell you about being a small business owner is how much time you spend tidying up! Honestly, the amount of time I spent tidying up. Like, I've just had to dump my bag on the floor so I could find my Nutrigrain because I just couldn't find it in the depths. Look at the state of this desk. Look at the state of this table. What is all of this? Look at the floor. Is my rubbish pile? Look at the hallway with all of my tote bags. Do you know what? I think it's mostly because we have such a small space, and obviously because of the bookshop stuff as well as just normal everyday business stuff. But sweet lord, I'm tired of tidying. I am packing, well, I'm processing orders. This is all of the die-bound ones that I packed yesterday, and I already have a little bag going here with them. That is pretty much going to be my day. I need to do that, and then I need to get the next collection, which is the spooky stuff, onto the website. As far as the shop goes, I had a photo before. It's our nice new beams. They've arrived and they are going in today, and then the brickwork can start being done. So I think we're like a day behind at the moment, maybe 2 days, which is a pain just for the next people going in. Because it's the electrician and the plasterer, and they're 2 people that I'm trying to communicate with that are very kindly jumping in short notice for us, but I can't confirm exactly which day, which is really crap and I hate that, but nothing can be helped. So yeah, there's not really anything very exciting in here going on today, but I will go down to the shop after and I will film a little update as to what's going on there. I think there's probably going to be a lot of that this week, that it's going to be a combination of slightly manic studio content whilst we prep for this weekend's collection, and then little snippets at the end of each day as to what's happened with the shop itself. So I'm going to carry on packing these, and then we'll go and have a look at the shop after. Thursday. The collection goes live for Secret Society tomorrow. I still feel like death. I've done the majority of the collection stuff this morning. I've done like photos and emails, stock count, everything like that. I'm now answering emails because I haven't answered emails since at least, well, today's Thursday, so for a week I reckon, because I was out for a few days. We've also been speaking to the alarm people today because we just needed to get their documents signed and get them scheduled in, so we've done that. And who's the other super boring one? Oh, the electricity. The electricity is currently off. It was turned off months and months ago now. And the workers need it on. And we did tell them it was off and that, you know, it was very unlikely to be on as quickly as they need it on. The letting agent said that they were sorting that. They did also say they were going to take a generator. I don't know whether that's now an issue or something. I don't know. But anyway, they cannot turn the electric back on for like another week. So I don't know what they're going to do. They're just going to have to suck it up. We are, I think, 2 days behind schedule. The beams arrived late and something else delayed them slightly. So I think we're 2 days behind schedule, which is a bit of a pest for next week because the electrician's going next week, but I can't yet tell them which day. And then the plasterer needs to go, but he's told me he now can't do the days that we'd said to him. But if we're a couple of days behind anyway, that should be fine. I've given him new dates. What I find really stressful is that all tradespeople want to know the exact date they can start. However, no tradespeople want to tell you how long their part of the job will take. I'm going to carry on with some stuff and then we'll check in with the bookshop and see what it looks like. Job. The outside especially looks really good. So they've done the majority of the outside now except for the bit above the door because it's got a slightly fancy shape. Oh, what have they found? Oh, I can see more stuff that they've found from the loft. There was one thing actually that was really cool. I'm gonna have a notes and see if I can spot where they've put it. Okay, so one other thing that they found this little notebook, and it's another butcher's order book, but this time it's dated 1926. That's the oldest thing that we found so far, and I think that's around the time it was actually built. It was built in the 1920s, I believe. But I really need to go to the library and see if I can find some more history on the building. But I can see a few other bits around that they found. They found a mouse trap, a really, really old mouse trap, which is cool. And I think I can see a sign that they found for somebody's phone number that they've written on, and I recognise the name. I think it's the florist's brother. I'll show you where we've left it at for week 2. By the end of Monday, these guys should be done, and then the roof will happen, which will take about 2 days. Then the electrician and the plastering. I hope you've enjoyed seeing behind the scenes this week with the Booksellers Association conference, and everything that's been happening with the shop has felt a lot more dramatic this week, but next week is when it starts going back together, which is the exciting part. So I will see you in the next one. Bye.